The front door chimed, getting them to stop and give each other puzzled looks. Could this be your grandma? Ken questioned, getting Momo to tell him to quiet down, which left him confused. I've never heard that door chime before, she told him, getting him to question her and ask what that even meant. She explained to him that her grandmother told her they have two door chimes. One is for humans and the other is for evil spirits. Momo then realizes this is happening because she took down the talisman, the tag that was stuck on the torii that was keeping evil spirits out. Ken panics and asks her what they should do, to which Momo responds saying they should put the talisman back on. If it was an evil spirit, it will catch on fire like he did. Momo and Ken got down as the chimes continued. Ken asks, "You want to burn me too? If you leave the grounds, you'll be fine," she told him as they made their way towards the chiming door. They opened the door and found nothing. While Momo was confused at how no one was there, Ken spotted something and immediately got her attention. Momo, worried, started pushing Ken, asking him to leave the grounds so she could put the talisman back on the torii. To his surprise, Ken found a wall blocking the exit, telling her we're walled in. The two then out of nowhere start to bleed from the nose. "Misayase, help me," Ken cried out, getting her worried. "Oh Karan, are you okay? Pull yourself together." I'm bleeding," he yelled out, panicking. "The black mist. That's what's causing it. If we don't do something, we're..." Momo stopped and stared at the mist. And she saw the gate. "The torii gate. I think we can put up the talisman. Please wait," Ken panicked. "You can't put up the talisman." "Why not?" she wondered. "Because the torii is blocked by the wall. I won't be able to leave the grounds," he explained to her. Before the two could decide what to do, there was a loud crash behind them as the whole place shook. Gigantic creature stood behind them saying, "Found you," said the giant creature. "You two are bad people. You broke your promise. Hand over your organs." It yelled at them, slamming his foot on the ground. Momo and Ken ran for their lives, hiding behind the house. "Holy, what kind of evil spirit is that? You don't have a second thing down there, do you?" Momo asked. "Of course I don't." He yelled at her. "That's a space alien." "Huh," was all that escaped Momo's mouth. "There's no mistake. That hood, it's the Flatwoods Monster." The Flatwoods Monster was first sighted in an American town called Flatwoods. And in Japan it's been seen in Yamanashi Prefecture. They describe it as being a 3-meter-tall alien. "Then what about the doorbell?" Momo asked, frustrated. "Are you telling me an alien set up the chime that was set up for evil spirits?" He tells her certain studies have shown that people who see psychic phenomena can just as often see UFOs. In other words, spirits and aliens may have some points of commonality. Then is it buddies with yesterday's aliens? She wondered. "Those stubborn jerks. If we don't do something about him, the poison mist will kill us," she tells him, saying she can't really do anything because she is keeping his curse in check. So she can't use her abilities very well. "I'll fight it. Please let the curse loose," Ken said, surprising Momo. Shocked, she asks where this was coming from, and he tells her he's not afraid of aliens. Then he asks her if she could release the curse in his body and suppress it in his head, that way Turbo Granny wouldn't be able to take over. While they were busy strategizing, the alien slammed the ground with his foot, which sent a massive wave that shattered the wall they were hiding behind. Momo and Ken ran out of their hiding spot before they were crushed by the wall collapsed on them. "Easy for you to say I haven't mastered these powers yet," Momo yelled at Ken, worried for his safety. "I just might be able to control Turbo Granny," he told her, trying to convince her. They hide behind another wall, and seeing how he wasn't gonna change his mind, Momo gave in. She stopped using her powers, and just when Turbo Granny began to resurface, she put her to stop, helping Ken keep control. The alien slammed the ground with his foot, sending massive ground-breaking wave their way. The wall shattered, and just before it fell on them, Ken, who was now in control of Turbo Granny, grabbed Momo and leapt out of the way. Now, in his spirit state, he was no longer himself. He was amazed at himself, and at the same time doubting his ability and existence, which got Momo concerned before she got pissed off at how his personality kept switching every second. "Alright, I'll be back in a minute. It is no use, though," he told her, bowing before walking away. "You idiot, watch where you're going," she warned him before he was slammed like a bug by the alien's enormous hands. Ken broke free and bit off all of the alien's fingers on his left hand, leaving the alien confused. "My body just moved on its own. So this is the power of Turbo Granny, huh?" he questioned. Amazed by his speed, Momo finally had some faith that it could actually work until Ken started puking, shocking her. Whoa, what's come over you? She asked. Seeing the spirit off guard, the alien slammed him with his left hand, sending him flying to a wall. The alien continued attacking and jumped in with a flying kick, heading for the spirit. Concerned, Momo used her powers and threw Ken's body out of the way just in time. She asked if he was okay and he apologized, telling her his body couldn't keep up with the power of the curse. He felt like he was going to burst into pieces and fly apart because humans aren't meant to move that fast. He started yelling out of frustration, wondering how they could beat such an enormous creature. Momo yells back at him, telling him to stop yelling at her. If she knew how to beat him, they wouldn't be struggling. She observed the alien, a thought coming to her head. She wondered if he was doing sumo. And did that mean if they get the alien's hand to touch the ground, they win? Ken questions if she's a genius, to which she replies with a thumbs up. Ken lets her know he can transform again, but that's it. She tells him to go for the legs as he transforms and takes off. She runs after him, telling him she needs to get close in order to use her powers, so he should back her up. The alien slams the ground, sending a massive wave their way. Ken grabbed Momo's hand and moved her out of the way before he took off with incredible speed, biting the alien's knee off. Momo then proceeds to keep Ken intact with her right hand and uses her left hand to force the alien's hand to touch the ground. As soon as his hand touched the ground, it evaporated, making their plan a success. But that didn't stop the alien, as he proceeded to grab Momo using his left hand before he slammed her on the wall that was behind the Torii. Turbo Granny began to take over Ken's body, which meant Momo lost focus and let go. But just before Ken lost himself, he gained control back over his body thanks to Momo, who was barely holding on. "Hey sumo alien," she called out. "Your hand touched the ground, you cheating son of a bitch." Ken cried out for Momo to let the curse loose, saying he doesn't care about what happens to his body. Momo tells him she's taking this alien down because she doesn't let anyone get away with cheating. She tried to use her psychokinesis on the alien, but he didn't give her the time as he slammed his fist into her, sinking her body in deeper. She tried to stop the alien, but her powers were weakened. The alien continued to punch her and created a dent in the wall behind her body. Ken watched in despair, asking her to release the curse, but Momo simply said, "No, it's cool. 'Cause now I'm at just the right depth from here." The dent in the wall the alien created put her body outside the Torii, surprising Ken and the alien. Momo reacted before the alien could and pulled Ken's body towards her before the alien could grab his body. Once Ken was past the gate, Momo put the talisman back on and the alien caught fire immediately. Momo held tightly onto Ken as they watched the alien burn into ashes. They dropped to the ground with a sigh of relief escaping their mouths. The punches took a toll on her body. Feeling exhausted, she told Ken she was feeling kinda dizzy before she dropped to the ground and passed out, leaving Ken petrified. He watched her body drop, and not a second later, Turbo Granny resurfaced.